Now this is a Headlines Today exclusive. Team India's manager for the Test series against England, Sunil Dev, is all set to blast the foreign support staff on the tour with the Indian cricket team in England. In his report, the manager says communication was a huge problem. Dev has recommended Indians for the job in the future.
The target, foreign coaching support staff. The problem, communication between the English-speaking staff and the players. The solution, get in Indian coaches for Team India. The recommendation, all support staff including security personnel accompanying the team should be Indian. The timeline, recommendations could be implemented by India's tour to Australia. These are the 5 big points that are likely to be highlighted in the manager's report following Team India's disastrous tour to England. And the recent developments in Mumbai clearly suggest that the manager and the big honchos in the BCCI are on the same page. However, what's a bit surprising is that the Indian board is now leaning towards Indian coaching talent. Till recently, Indian coaches were snubbed and sidelined. They were accused of being partial and parochial in their dealings. They were supposed to be totally divorced from the latest technological know-how of modern coaching. No wonder India's batting great Mohinder Amarnath was ignored for Greg Chappell in 2005. Not only have Trevor Penny and Joe Dawes been sidelined, celebrated coach Duncan Fletcher is also given enough feelers to quit. And sources say he will be sacked following the ODI series. Post-England, there can very well be an Indian coach, a man who speaks and communicates in Indian languages. Sports Bureau, Headlines Today.
All right, Boria, you broke the story first on Headlines Today. How was the manager reacting to all of this? You know, was he upset about the whole scenario and incident that has taken place over the past few weeks?
You know, he's been sort of observing very closely and obviously sort of felt that this is not the way forward. I mean, the current system, every support staff is foreign, by the way. Trevor Penny, fielding coach, Joe Dawes, bowling coach, Duncan Fletcher, head coach, Rolton, the security personnel, everybody accompanying this Indian team except media manager Dr. R.N. Baba, everybody is a foreigner. So obviously Sunil Dev felt that this is a problem and a serious problem. And obviously his report, which is going to be submitted to the BCCI a week from now, will recommend all of these measures that you just outlined. That Indian support staff for better communication. He will, suggest that by Australia this should be implemented. Even the security personnel need to be changed. He's also doubting the commitment. Now that is a very serious one. He's also doubting the commitment of the foreign support staff. Now that also has basis. Look, Sunil Dev is a very forthright, straight-talking kind of fellow. If anybody who knows Sunil Dev and his career in sports administration for the last 25-30 years will tell you that he's a straight talking guy who will speak from the heart, and he too is embarrassed and down after this disastrous England tour. So he's also talking from there. And if you actually see the way things have unfolded, Siddharth, Trevor Penny coming up in one of the press conferences and saying, oh, there is no need to panic about India's slip catching, actually sort of forces you to doubt the commitment of this foreign support staff as well. So I, for one, welcome this kind of, manager's report, welcome the recommendations. I think the manager's report should be bold, forthright, and to the point, and that's what it is.
Well, Nikhil, you've been a player. You've, seen foreign coaches come in India and coach. This communication gap, how good or bad is it?
Well, I don't think it's really a matter of communication gap. At the end of the day, I don't think the foreign coach can make or break a player. If you drop the execution board, it's how you go out there and execute the plans on that ground. But I, for one, are very much for the Indian coaches, because on a year-on-year basis, 365 days, we know what is happening in Indian domestic cricket. I know if, God forbid, there's a man who's in the middle order, he's unfit, who would be able to go out there and take that sort of role? So, I know what to expect from which sort of player. That's why I'm saying I'm all for the Indian coaches. So, whenever that happens, I guess it'll be a good move, because don't forget, the first inaugural World Cup T20, we won that with the Indian coaches. When we beat England in England after 21 years, we had Robin Singh, Venkat Prasad, Lalchand Rajput as well. So the Indian coaches have done well.
Whenever we talk about a bilateral series overseas, Indian record is not that great. Nikhil, what should be done to improve this record further?
Well, I guess the most important thing is, we talk about foreign coaches coming into India to try and help them, or if, focus area that needs to be covered at this moment in time for betterment of Indian cricket is your under-19. Any technical changes in the style of batting, bowling changes, you could make till a certain age limit. Post that, when somebody starts playing first-class cricket, Ranji Trophy and all that, they're pretty much set. You know, when you play 6, 7 years, 8 years of domestic cricket, you graduate to playing international cricket, you can only very marginally tweak it. But you focus on the under-16 and the under-19s, your nursery for international cricket, you watch, things will be different. Australia does it, South Africa does it, England does it. Why do they think about their juniors so much? Because those are your future stars.
All right, Bore, you've interacted a lot with MS Dhoni for, you know, so many years. Do you think he'll be able to overcome these challenges now?
You know, he's a white ball player. I mean, if you sort of, I was hearing very closely that VO, and it said, Dhoni is now on borrowed time in test match cricket overseas.
Yeah.
Make no mistake, in the one-day format, Dhoni is a champion. I mean, even if he wins, by the way, let's put this point very clearly for our viewers. Even if he wins this ODI series, that doesn't make him a good test match captain at all. India still needs change in the test match format. In the one-day format, he's a champion. He's a, top-class player, perhaps the best in the world in terms of finishing the game. India, if any format that they like, it's the ODI format. But unfortunately, in bilateral series in recent times, we've been pathetic. Yeah. We've lost 4-0 New Zealand, 3-0 South Africa, 5-0 in England a few years back. Can Dhoni do the change? Look, Siddharth, there'll be 2 white balls that will be used. Yeah. England is using the test bowling lineup with Jimmy Anderson there. It is autumn already, so it will be cold. Believe you me, it's tough. I would say England start favourites, but India certainly will do better than the test match series.
The ICC World Cup was put up for display at the Mecca of cricket, the Lord's Cricket Ground. The trophy will be touring all the cricketing nations, and in December it will reach India. Take a look at these exclusive visuals from London.
The most iconic trophy in world cricket at the most iconic cricket ground in the world. Right now, we are just outside the members area of the Mecca of cricket, the Lord's Cricket Ground, and we're about to show you an exclusive sneak peek of the World Cup trophy that has begun its official tour of England and Wales. Now, this is the perpetual World Cup ICC trophy that represents the biggest prize in world cricket. This is the trophy that India won in 2011, and the defending champions will vie for it once again in 2015 when the tournament is held in Australia and New Zealand. The biggest prize in world cricket, starting its tour at the Lord's Cricket Ground. Of course, this is where the first 3 World Cup finals were held. This is where India won its first World Cup final. Kapil Dev lifting the Prudential Cup at that time. What a moment that was, and what a moment it was when Dhoni's team repeated that feat in 2011. Of course, you would recognize this trophy from that time. This trophy has started its tour of England and Wales. Later in the year, it's going to come to India as well, the defending champions, in the month of December. Of course, we hope that India manages to get its hand on this trophy once again. What a moment it will be if we're actually able to defend the trophy that we won at home in Australia and New Zealand as well. Of course, this tour to England, at least the test series didn't go very well for India. Here's hoping that they make amends in the one-day series, and then in the one-day series they play in Australia, the venue of the World Cup, and once again get their hands on the ICC World Cup. With camera person Kashif Siddiqui at the Lord's Cricket Ground in London, Shivani Gupta for Headlines Today.